Let's go back to Ireland and check out a proper classic. Stick around after this. Hi everyone, welcome to Nonsense Whisky, the home of straight talking whisky reviews. My name's Vin PF, and this week we're going to be checking out Bushmills Black Bush. I picked this sample up at a recent tasting at the Birmingham Whisky Club, and we went through quite a lot of the Bushmills range. Started with the Bushmills original, the Black Bush, the new-ish Red Bush, the 10-year, and finally the 21-year. Now, I have to say, this was my whisky of the evening. The original was a bit too harsh for my liking. The Red Bush, I didn't really get on with very well. It tasted kind of a bit weak for my liking. That's just me. The 10-year-old was great. I liked that. This one just pipped it. The 21 was a bit of a disappointment because the sherry influence, they must have picked up some sulphur from somewhere, because for me and pretty much only one other guy in the whole room, it was horrendously sulphured. And to be fair, even the other guy who picked it up didn't mind it too much. That was one of the guys from the Dead Bottle Collective, which you should definitely check out. It's a great blog. Anyway, onto the Black Bush itself. Now, this is basically the original, but aged in sherry casks instead of whatever they normally use. It's 40%, and this was a double, so I just chucked it all in. Now, it's also triple distilled, which is pretty regular for Irish whiskey. They like doing that sort of thing, differentiates them from the Scots world. They also age for 3 years and a day, rather than just 3 years. Why not? I also managed to pick up this glass while I was at the tasting. Square glass, there you go. I'm sure a few of you Glencairn lovers will have a few things to say about that, but please feel free to discuss in the comments. So, I'm pretty sure this has colour in. I can't say for sure, I couldn't find the information, but that usually bodes that it has got colour in. But it's ever so slightly darker than the original, which just probably means the same amount of colour in. A bit of the sherry influence has kind of darkened it a little bit. Yeah, it's very light, as you'd expect if you've got any experience with Irish whiskies. They tend to be quite light. Now for me, there's some light caramels in there. I get a surprising amount of coffee. It's not like overwhelming, it's just there, but that surprises me. There's also some really light citrus flavours to it, which I quite like, up the side of this square glass. Okay, let's try. Now, I haven't covered the original, mainly because I haven't got any of it, but for me, the original is kind of real, harsh whiskey, really strong. I don't want to say young, I don't know what's in it. I should say as well that the original and this are blends, not single malts. So they have all sorts of stuff in them, all sorts of different ages. Who knows what's in there? I think this one might have a bit of older stock in it. The original, as I said, it's pretty harsh. This one has some alcohol notes to it, but it's not too bad at all. For me, I get most of that citrus that was on the nose, on the palate. Some of that coffee still there as well. Strange. I didn't pick up coffee when I had this at the tasting, but maybe because it was just after the original. Now, it's very easy drinking. This sells for £20 to £25 in the UK. I haven't seen it in many supermarkets. You can get original Bushmills in the supermarkets, maybe even the 10-year. But this is in almost every off-licence and every kind of whiskey, wine shop that I've ever been into. Pretty regular purchase. I think you can get this quite readily across the world. But the best thing about it is it's cheap and it's better than the original, in my opinion. So it's kind of everyday drinking, you know. It's not something that I would kind of crack out and say, yeah, this is amazing whiskey. I don't think I'd even use it as a really good show about what Irish whiskey can do. I would definitely give this to somebody who was into their into their Bushmills or their Jameson's originals and say, you know, you can definitely push on from that, but there's nothing wrong with it at all. In my humble opinion, it's kind of akin to a slightly sherried, younger Speyside. You know, that kind of light floral notes that you expect. There you go. I wouldn't say it's right up there, but there's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. Interesting enough to keep you going. It's not that complex, for sure, but you know me, it's not always about that. You know, I love a good complex whiskey, but I also like to sit and relax with my drams. And this is one of those go-to, you don't have to worry about drinking a double more of it because it doesn't cost that much, you can just get another bottle. There you go, there's another No Nonsense Whisky review for you. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to check the description for more information, and I'll see you again on another No Nonsense Whisky review.